it's like we just finished season 2. I don't even remember hiatus. We're back. And, you know, we're already on episode 3, and we just read episode 1. And so it's interesting because it feels like it's been so long, and yet it feels like the days are just vanishing. I don't think having your friend, pseudo little sister, protege, mentee murdered in a way like that happens to most people, and I should hope that it wouldn't and never will. But it, you know, it spins her, and the thing inside of her that from her childhood was sort of that poisonous voice always whispering all the terrible things to her, it unleashes that thing. You know, she boxed it and locked it away, and Nadia's death really blows that open, and all of that stuff comes out for Lindsay in a way that is unmanageable for her. I don't think there's anything, no sort of intervening of friends, no talking to from Voight or Halstead was going to pull Lindsay out. You know, not only is she battling with her own demons, but Bunny has inserted herself into her life and is quite literally and figuratively poisoning her. You know, she's constantly telling her that this is all she's ever going to be, and this is always who she was meant to be, and feeding her liquor and feeding her drugs, and it's a really dark place. And she's in that sort of self-fulfilling prophecy of, I'm bad news. You know, she said it in the finale, and she's much further down that rabbit hole when we come back. But something happening to one of her own, her needing to show up because she's the only one who can make it right, and she knows that, and the unit knows that, that is the only thing that could pull her out. She's not going to do it for herself, but she'll do it for someone she loves. No, Voight does not make it easy on her. He's a father figure, but he's her boss. And while he understands that she's suffering, he also doesn't tolerate the alchemy of his unit being jeopardized by her inability to dig herself out of it. So while I think he knows her maybe better than she knows herself through this stuff, you know, he knows who Lindsay really is. He knows that this mess that she's becoming is not her, and he sees her, and he can remind her that he knows what her truth is. He still is like, yeah, I know the best of you, but it's not like you get off scot-free. So it's a very interesting thing for her having to move back in with him. You know, she hasn't lived with Voight since she was 18, and having to be drug tested and having to get up and have coffee with her adoptive dad / boss every day, and you know, she gets the reins tightened very, very severely for a little while. She's got to prove herself. Lindsay understands that her and her mother are spark plugs together. They're really bad. They start fires. Their energy is bad, bad, bad. And so she decides to distance herself. And Bunny so wants to control Lindsay that she figures, oh, if Voight's the problem, I'll take Voight out. And the Bunny-Voight showdown is going to be very scary. We're at Union Station in Chicago, and they've been so good to us over the years, letting us shoot these big, crazy episodes here. But we are dealing with a situation where a girl has gone missing, and her father brings her case to our attention, and we find out she's been gone for 3 months. And as things unfold, we discover that she's not the only one, and this ring of men that are preying on vulnerable women through social media and the internet, which we all know happens far too often, happens every day. We, obviously being as invested as we are in the intelligence unit, and as I think emotional as we can be, this case hits us all pretty hard, and we're here to clean it up. We're here to get somebody. Yeah, it's incredible. People are really invested and excited, and I think the thing that's most exciting for me is when I see that enthusiasm. When someone comes up and wants to talk specifics of a story or a storyline or an episode, I'm just so excited that they remember it in that kind of detail, because, you know, it takes us, God, 110 hours to film an episode, a 42-minute episode. So our experience is so deep with this stuff, and to find out that it's deep for our fans and our audience as well is so cool.